Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to some Monday Night Carball. We have our USF Gold team facing off against the Missouri Tigers in the NACE Varsity Premier League.
Yeah, we are back with the same old roster, not same old, fresh, new, exciting roster of Banger, Yagami, and Sap.
We've streamed them like 3 times. They're not as new anymore, but
yeah,
as new as can be for this team,
True.
considering that we're used to seeing the same like 2 players for like forever.
Banger's still here.
As long as Banger's here, it's the old roster.
That's all that matters. But yeah, we are going into this game. Both of these teams have not the greatest records. I believe USF's 1-4 and Mizzou is 1-3. This should be a close game.
Should be a close game, just like you said, if the records show anything at all. Mizzou starting off early on the offensive, not going to get much. Yagami with a nice touch, trying to go into a counterattack. Ends up with Banger, goes to Yagami, gets a nice touch on it, but doesn't finish it off. Banger with a shot, doesn't go in. Sap gets the rebound, but not going to find it.
Double commit may come back to haunt them there. The nice boost steal should allow Mizzou to get out here. A nice pass in the middle. It's a little bit off to the side. Sap collects the boost and does have a decent amount of space to work with, but nobody's in front of him. He's just going to have to play it slow and hope that one of his teammates can follow it up. Banger on the ball, gets bumped off the play.
Does get bumped off the play, goes for a counter. Yagami is there to collect the ball, trying to turn it into an attack of his own. Ends up on the defender's car, but pass over from Sap to Yagami, setting it to the middle, but nobody there to capitalize. Mizzou trying to turn a counter here with Exodia, but not going to get much just yet, as Yagami just going to get the clear over to Banger, who's going to send it all the way back on offense. Has a chance here, not going to work out as Frostbite is there to collect the ball.
Nothing too threatening. Mizzou trying to get something going here. It's May bouncing a little bit awkward, but Yagami does well to clear it out. I'm looking for some organized play here. Both teams just trying to put it, make it awkward for the other team. Banger may have a chance here. Gets the flip, and he doesn't put it on target. Sap follows it up, and it's not quite on target. Crims with a little bit of a boom there. Just going to be floating in the midfield. Frostbite
nice
does beat Sap over to Crims. He can't get it on target.
Way too wide here. Going to try to follow it up, but Banger's going to have the ball in his hand. Exodia going to contest it in the air. Yagami stops it dead in its tracks. Now going in the air is Sap. Sends it forward. Is there a follow-up here for USF? There's not going to be, as Crims gets the clear. Banger trying to stop the counter. Gets a touch. A little bit awkward. Still falling. There's a chance there for Mizzou, but not quite.
A little bit of awkwardness. Sap just booming it away. A little bit of trying to handing the ball away, trying to keep it close, but nobody's really able to get anything too threatening. Once again, just off the backboard. Yagami is in the waiting. Like always, both of these teams, solid defense and offense, quite not yet doing anything threatening. Zodi may have a chance here, tries to get it around Banger, but he does well to put it away. Sap with the follow-up touch. Crims does have boost here, and he has a decent amount of space to work with. Yagami is the first one to that ball, over to Exodia. Tries to get a shot on target, but the defense is just always there.
A lot of back and forth going on in this game so far. I feel like you want to see a little bit more teamwork, trying to get a passing play going here. It seems a lot of individual plays in front of the net, just waiting for a rebound for the teamwork to come through. Maybe a little pass is necessary as Sap gets a nice contest, pinches it way too much over the net. Banger has a chance here. Frostbite passes it back, and Yagami's going to follow it up, but Crims is there, going to take it to the air. Has to beat one defender here, but Banger's not going to let it through. Still in an awkward spot in the midfield. USF can go up for it. Sap passes to the side. Yagami isn't going to go for it.
I've seen at least 2 or 3 double commits from both of these sides, and nobody's really capitalized on any of them. I think Mizzou double committed for a ball in the midfield, but USF just weren't quite ready for it. Maybe an outlet pass coming through, but Sap isn't able to reach it. He does have follow-up. He just pops it up, and Crims is going to be there, and he does get bumped off the ball, but he does get a demo for himself. Sap turns well and puts it away, and he does 50 it out nicely for Banger.
Banger now gets demoed on his attempt to go to attack, but Sap still gets a shot on net and puts it in. USF opens up the scoring. With about a minute and a half to go in this game one.
Not what we expected. Banger didn't need to get the touch. He was there, but he does get just demoed, but the ball just bounces perfectly to Sap, who puts it right in, and USF's up 1-0. A little bit of an unexpected goal, but Sap was ready for it.
Sap was ready for it indeed. Last time we saw these guys on stream, Sap was always there on the rebounds, always at the right place at the right time, finding these opportunities with the open net. There it is yet again, finding one for USF. Mizzou now trying to counter it early here, get right back into this game, but USF's defense pretty good so far. Banger now keeping the pressure going, leaves it for Yagami, gets the demo for the open net. Yagami takes it to the side, passes it to the middle, tries to go for a shot, but not going to find it.
Sap does get a touch over the wall. Banger is getting chased, but he does well. Goes on the backboard and able to clear it out, avoiding the demo and getting the clear. Sap is going to have to clear this over to the sidewall. Crims is able to read it. Yagami puts it away. Should have a decent amount of space to work with, but no. Boo's going to have to play it methodically, and he does put it over to the sidewall. Banger doesn't get the greatest touch he needs, but he does leave it for Sap on the backboard. USF just need to hold this lead. 1 minute left.
Doing a good job of wasting a little bit of time so far, but still plenty to work with. A double off the wall, and then the shot goes off the crossbar. There's a rebound there, but way too wide. USF just scrape out of that one barely. Yagami trying to counter it pretty quickly, gets bumped into the air, and now Mizzou trying to get back on the offense. 30 seconds to go to try to tie this game one up, but Sap has control, has possession, gets stopped by Frostbite, but Yagami gives him a little bit of a bump, but not able to get much else out of that. Now Exodia on the attack, taking it off the sidewall all the way around in front of the net, and it goes in. Crims helping out his teammate, putting it into the top corner with 20 seconds to go.
Well done from Exodia here. He just kind of forces his way. He does get a bump. He bounces backwards, and Crims able to put it in. Not able to see who was bumped there, but a nice just forcing your way into that goal, willing in a goal to tie this game up. 20 seconds left. USF trying to get something going here. Banger does have a decent amount of space. Frostbite doesn't respect him at all and instantly challenges. The ball lands in Sap's lap, and now Yagami does have a 50 here and a little bit of a clearance going through. Sap and was in a little bit of a head-on, but it does get broken up. Crims trying to kill this ball, keep it away from his net with these last 3 remaining seconds, and it's not going to hit the ground quite yet, and Yagami does let it drop.
And in tried and true USF fashion, we are heading into overtime here. A little bit of a defensive slugfest so far. Mizzou now with the ball, gets stopped by Yagami around midfield, gets contested by Frostbite, but Sap, nice touch, has one more defender to beat, but Crims has been that defensive wall for Mizzou for so long in this game that USF has struggled to get past. Frostbite pass it to the middle. The demo comes through for Sap, helping out USF on the defensive end here. Now trying to take the counter, gets a full boost, gets a bump in the air. Nobody from USF to capitalize on that just yet. Yagami keeping it around midfield now, trying to turn this into an attack, but Exodia is going to clear it.
Uh-oh, Yagami's last back, it could be dangerous, but everyone just backs up, respecting Yagami that he has the clear. Frostbite is the next one to go. And now it's going to bounce over to this midfield for Yagami with a one-on-one on Crims. But Yagami does play it slow. Ooh. What a save out of Crims, not allowing that to get in front of his net for any sort of follow-up. Banger tries to get a touch. He gets a flip, but Exodia is there for the big clear. Sap is going to try to beat Frostbite. It does get put over him. Maybe a shot coming out, a demo coming through from Banger. So Yagami may have an open net if nobody's able to reach it. Yagami's going to get the slow roller in. Mizzou not able to get the save. USF secures game 1.
Mizzou with a little bit of an overcommit on the counterattack, ends up getting one demo that it's the last man back. USF on the turnaround, trying to retreat back on the defense, opening up space for them to counter it immediately with Yagami in the air, finding the space into the open net, barely sneaking it past Crims.
Yeah, barely sneaking it past. I thought he was maybe going to be able to get the save there. Yagami just had to play it so slow, hope that nobody touched it. The save almost coming through, but yeah. Maybe just a little bit of overcommit, or maybe just the demo clearing up a lot of space for them. But yeah, I would just say, as you said earlier, it was just a lot of defense from both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Crims was everywhere on defense. Banger and Yagami clearing up the net. Sap with a few demos. That last one there, the quick counterattack by Mizzou, they had one guy back there like, you know what, we're safe here. And then Sap just comes out from behind the net and just demos. And it's like, suddenly Yagami has the ball and the net's open. It's like, oh, we lost this game. USF take game 1, should be heading into game 2 here shortly.
Yeah, a little bit. I want to say it was a little bit of a slow game. I don't know if that's rude to say, but I feel like both teams were kind of just like playing it safe. Nobody going for anything like super crazy, just kind of playing like their solid game. As we saw, it was a close game. Nobody was doing anything crazy out of their minds. But maybe I would like to see a little bit more like using your team to try to get out, not even just score, to try to get out, because it just seemed to be boom the ball, try to control it, and it's just nothing threatening.
Pretty basic Rocket League. Nobody trying any fancy plays in the air, trying to go for those alley-oop passes and the dunks. Only 1 or 2 attempts at a double. I feel like every time I watch, there's like everybody's always going for that double off the back wall, and only once or twice it happened this game. So pretty basic. Going to probably see a little bit different gameplay in this game too. Now the teams kind of have figured each other out a little bit maybe and are a little bit more comfortable now. I don't know how much they warmed up. Maybe that was the warm-up game for a couple of them.
Perhaps, but we'll see as we get going into game number 1. Maybe a shot out of Exodia. A nice double tap. He almost puts it in. That would have been a crazy angle. But fortunate for USF, it doesn't quite come out. The shot coming through, it is going to be a little bit wide. He tries to double it. He does get the center. Frostbite gets one more touch, but nobody's there to follow it up. Yagami has a big clear.
Ooh, does get demoed for that clear, and now Crims has possession of the ball. Just needs to turn it a little bit to the left, and he has a chance. Gets a second touch onto it. Needs a teammate there, but they're not going to find it. Frostbite keeps the pressure going. The entirety of Mizzou on the attacking half here, and Crims just a little bit off on the timing from the pass from his teammate. Exodia takes to the air, goes for the double, doesn't get the second touch, and now USF trying to clear, trying to relieve this pressure, but for the last 30 seconds, it's been only on their side of the field.
And need to be able to get something out or grab some amount of boost. Banger and Yagami both have some, should help them clear it out. A little bit of a double commit, but Sap is going to be the one to follow it up. Doesn't get a touch, making it a little awkward. Does finally get it around 1, but it's just straight over to Crims, who's going to play it slow, try to get some sort of pass here or some control. He goes to the bump, may open it up. Well played, nice bump, super slow play, opening for Mizzou.
He faked the aerial. The entirety of USF thought he was going up and was waiting to see what he was going to do. Then he just brings it down and gets the bump, leaving the top corner open for his teammate to put it through and open up the scoring for Mizzou 1 minute in.
Seems like it's been on USF's half for almost the entire minute, maybe besides the kickoff going to their half, but it just seems like this is a completely different Mizzou team. The pressure is pretty much unrelenting here. Almost be another chance here. A little bit of a double commit may hurt them. Sap is able to clear it out, fortunately, and now Yagami tries to push it through, but yeah, just unrelenting pressure, not able to get anything out of their half.
USF don't have enough boost to just get a powerful shot to clear it out of their side. Maybe now with a chance ball in midfield, a double commit from Sap and Yagami. There's an open net, nobody there to defend the double. They miss it off the post. There's another rebound there out of Exodia. Is not going to find it. Sap trying to get the clear. Now Banger finally boots it all the way across. Trying to turn this around. Gets a nice touch over a defender. There's a whiff coming through. USF still has a chance. The big bump going to stop it. The double from Yagami way too high for him. But still, the pressure is ongoing from Banger, keeping it here, trying to go for more bumps. And there's an open net. Can Sap or Yagami get there? And they cannot, as Crims makes it 2 for Mizzou.
They kind of messed up their open goal a little bit earlier, but, you know, they make up for it there. As I was saying earlier, just looking for those outlet passes, I mean, sometimes it just works. I mean, obviously, I wasn't expecting it to just lead right into a goal, but Yagami maybe going for that boost, overcommitting a little bit, but it just seems like Mizzou has stepped it up, and USF needs to follow suit.
Yeah, USF's defense looks really, really solid in that game 1, but this game 2 so far, maybe communication is just something. They look a little bit uncoordinated on who's going where and at what times. Maybe a little bit too much pressure going on, trying to get back in the lead after an early goal from Mizzou. Now down 2. Exodia now trying to maintain possession of this ball. Yagami goes for the 50. Crims is there to try to get the clear, pass it over to the middle. Frostbite, pass it up into the corner. There's a chance here for Mizzou. Can they bring it back? They cannot, as Yagami's there with the defense, trying to win that 50 to clear it. Not going to get too much out of it, but Sap's there.
Sap doesn't have a lot of boost. Can try to play it slow. Tries to get the pinch. Not quite enough power on it. But Yagami is able to follow this up. He doesn't need to touch it. Banger and Yagami have a 2v1 here. Banger tries to put it above 2 of these players, but not quite. Frostbite pre-jumping it. It's bouncing straight in front of net. Banger is there, but Exodia puts it all the way over. Yagami's going to have to play it. So he does just get beaten. Maybe open. Is Sap going to be able to reach it? Not quite. Mizzou going up 3-0.
That's 2 goals in a row where USF overcommit a little bit on offense and don't have quite enough boost to get back on defense for these saves. Sap just barely not enough. If he had like 5 to 10 more boost, he would have had it, but not quite there. A little bit confusing what's going on with USF's rotations here with how many times they've left this net open. And now Frostbite with another attempt here, trying to make it 4. Sap was there this time, trying to counter it back. Now Yagami goes for the pinch off the wall, takes it to the air, goes for a shot, gets contested in the air.
Almost had something there. Need to get some sort of momentum in this game or even just for the next game. Of nice pass over to Yagami, but it's just not quite far enough. Crims is able to read it. He doesn't get the follow-up touch, but he does call it out, faking it for his teammate. Yagami getting a bump should allow Banger with some sort of space here, but he does get challenged over to the corner, and Crims does carry it up the wall. Just really nice control out of Mizzou. A miss coming out on the side of USF. Yagami is able to collect it. Stealing that boost is Mizzou. Yagami may have just secured it himself. I didn't think he had enough boost for it, but maybe he just caught Mizzou lacking.
Takes on the entire team, beats one defender, then takes it up the wall over the other, and then just a nice touch on the flip. Frostbite not expecting that angle to come through, and USF make it just get one to try to get this lead back. 1:20 to go, still plenty of time. Let's see if that goal might have woken them up a little bit.
Exodia gets a nice pinch over, but he kind of just handed the ball over to USF. Yagami does just dribble this ball out slowly, and he does 50 up in the side. Sap made a little bit awkward here. He needs to beat out Frostbite to get a chance, and he gets the secondary touch, but Crims is just already there. And looking for a demo is Crims, but Banger is just going to collect this ball out. A nice pre-jump out of Exodia. Should have the follow-up of another 50 here, and now it's just floating. Crims with a minute left just wants to try to hold on to this lead.
Yes, indeed. This lead is what matters. They're trying to tie this series back up 1-1. Both teams looking for their second win of the NACE season. Yagami now getting the ball in hands. Was the one to score for USF. Trying to make another one happen here, but the demo going to slow it down a little bit. 30 seconds to go. Sap gets a touch forward. Crims not able to get a second touch to stop it. Yagami now goes for the contest. It's hovering around the middle. Banger has a chance. Not going to get it. Sap now trying to take it himself, but Crims is there making a nice read. Yagami collects it, gets it over one. Can he get it over a second? There it is. Another time that Yagami comes through, beating 2 defenders and just getting it past the goalie. USF now down 1 with 20 seconds to go.
A little bit awkward out of Crims there. Thought he could have just definitely touched that ball if he just double jumped, or maybe he was just trying to play the bump. Maybe try to bump the play and leave the ball, but either way, Yagami just able to beat two again. A little bit of interesting goals there. Thought both of them could have been saved, but it works in the side of USF. They need to get one more with 20 seconds left. Sap tries to get something. He doesn't even get a touch on the ball. Yagami is going to try to clear it out, but just hands it straight over to Exodia, who's going to try to kill time or even score another one. He has the flip. He does opt to save it if he had it, and it is just looks like it's going to hit the ground. USF kind of waiting there, but Sap does keep it up. The shot coming through. Yagami, it is in. Yagami ties it. Thought they were going to put that down, but well played from USF.
An awkward bounce here. Frostbite trying to bring it down, but Sap has the perfect timing on it. And Yagami just has one goalie to be, and there it is. Crims not in the right position for it. And yet again, another overtime. USF might have just made this comeback happen if they can close out the overtime win, or is Mizzou going to stop it?
Oh, Yagami has the flip. He tries to get it. Crims, well played, able to read that ball. Banger's going to try to come through. Frostbite is following this ball. He doesn't have a lot of boost, but he gets a touch over to nobody waiting there. Banger fakes it out, but the threat is not quite there. Nobody's waiting in net, but the shot wasn't quite on target right away. Maybe a breakaway opportunity. Frostbite just needs to get it away and stall for his team to get a little bit of boost here. Banger puts it down. Sap's probably going to opt to pass it back, but he doesn't touch it. Yagami is a little bit awkward here, but he does get a nice 50.
Does get a bump as well on the second player. Banger gets it over one. Not going to do much with it, but nice pass coming through. Sap not in a good position. Looks like he might have been getting bumped in the net, and Mizzou are going to stop the comeback from happening and are going to win it in overtime to tie up the series 1-1.
Yeah, that's a really well played. Going for that infield pass when there's only one defender waiting in net. All you have to do is pass it over your teammate, make it awkward, able to get a lot of power on that shot. USF almost able to steal that game away, but not quite. Mizzou holds on.
Exodia there with a nice bump in net, opening it up, not giving Sap any space to try to make the read there. Mizzou, like I said, gave up 3 goals in a minute and a half when USF was struggling to do anything all game, but able to close it out there and tie up the series 1-1. Wonder who has the momentum now. You got to feel a little bit bad on both teams after that game, if you're going to be honest. Like, USF make the comeback, but then lose it in overtime like that. And then Mizzou also, you let the comeback happen in the first place. We'll see who comes out on top in this game number 3 here. Yeah, USF get the kickoff in their favor, but Frostbite is going to take it to the air. Has a chance, going for the double. Not going to get the second touch, and USF just gets the clear.
Right away, the pressure coming out from Mizzou. Crim's going to put it over to the corner, make it awkward for Banger. He does get a bump on him, and Exodia is following this up. Sap does just not hit the ball. Maybe a wide open net, but it's not on target. Banger needs to be able to finish it. An unlucky bounce pops all the way to the sky. Sap trying to get a touch here, does get a 50 out all the way over the corner. Yagami tries to get a shot, but it's just going to be 50 above their net. Frostbite should have control, but he doesn't hit it. Yagami doesn't read the miss there and not quite able to get the opportunity there.
Banger going for the bump, trying to open up space. Yagami goes for the shot, not going to find it as there's still another defender there. Sap is back on defense, but for now, he's looked like he was all alone. This reads off the roof. Banger there, though, ready for the clear. Exodia is going to read it, going to shoot it to the net. Yagami going to have to come in with the save. Sap now takes possession, tries to clear it, but not going to get it as Crims is there to stop it.
Banger's going to have a decent amount of space. They are going to fake him out. He does not get the pre-jump. A pass over to Crims and a nice read out of Sap, able to block that shot. But Exodia is just going to keep putting it back into the middle. Sap gets a nice touch. It is going to be quite a little bit to the side. Yagami needs to get a nice 50 here, putting it into the corner. Should allow somebody to follow up. Not able to get a touch there. Crims trying to just put it in front of this net, pestering this defense for USF. Not able to get out. Banger with a nice bump should open some space.
Pass over to Banger. Banger does try to go for the second touch, but Crims is there to read it. Sap, or Yagami, I mean, is going to miss it. Sap is there to stop it in its tracks. Now pass to the middle. Yagami going for the clear, but the 50 still goes in Mizzou's way. Now it's all the way back on their defensive side. Yagami trying to follow it up. Not going to get much out of it in Banger. Just a really awkward touch, but Sap is there. Doesn't have the boost, though. This is really, really awkward for both teams at this point.
He pops it high, just doing whatever he could with that low amount of boost. Yagami's not getting a touch here. He's making it super awkward. What are they doing? Finally able to get it out, but that's looking a little bit scary for USF. You do not want to see those type of awkwardness coming out. That
was about as awkward as it could be on either team. Mizzou couldn't capitalize on it, but USF just bouncing around, waiting for the ball to get in a spot for them to clear it. And still, the pressure is still on for Mizzou. The demo comes through. Banger, though, does have the ball, and that's an open net. Trying to get it past it. The player respawns and stops Banger in his tracks, but he's still keeping the pressure going. Mizzou now trying to get the clear with Exodia. Not going to get it. Yagami with a shot on net, way too wide. Sap trying to follow it up, but going all the way back on defense now. Banger takes it to the sky, gets contested by Crims. Sap, really bad touch, but still has a chance now into the air. Exodia is going to stop it.
I think he tried to go for the solo play, but it just bounced off to the... It was a good attempt, but it just went a tiny bit too high. Exodia going to collect this ball. Now Sap is going to have to get a touch to stall out. He does nicely to 50 it out straight for Yagami, but he just gets bumped straight off the ball. Frostbite going to look for an infield pass. He goes for the pop instead. Crims tries to get a shot here, but he's going to opt to play it slow, make it awkward for USF. We've seen how these slow plays can make USF a little bit awkward, where they're not quite sure who's going to go for this ball, but they are still somehow holding on when Mizzou has had a lot of the pressure in this game.
Yeah, pressure has been entirely on Mizzou's side in this game so far. Pretty reminiscent of that game number 2 that we just saw. USF, though, still hasn't buckled under it. Still 0-0 game. Frostbite now with a chance. Going to get contested. And like you mentioned, Mizzou has realized that these slow plays have been affecting USF's defense. And we've also seen a lot more teamwork plays out of Mizzou. They've tried a lot of different passes to the middle, just like we see there, passing it over to Exodia, putting it in. Mizzou scoring 1, getting the lead here. And USF feels like they haven't tried enough of those on their side when they finally do get the possession on attack. It's been a lot more individual plays out of Yagami and Banger to try to get anything.
Yeah, they're definitely just a little bit more coordinated than USF is right now, able to just time their rotations, time their attacks a little bit better. Somebody's always there waiting in the midfield, and USF just not able to get that coordination. A pass coming through, but just not quite close enough to that play. Now something may be coming out here. Banger tries to get it centered, and nobody is back, but it's going to be finally Yagami able to collect it. He's just going to hand it straight over to Exodia. Gets a touch middle. Banger or Sap, one of them needs to get a touch here. It's going to be just sitting in this corner. USF need to do something here to try to break out of their half and get a chance on net.
Frostbite now trying to take to the corner for himself. Yagami is going to read it, trying to turn this into a counterattack. A big bump coming through, but the pressure's still on. Mizzou still has the offensive possession here of the ball. And now Exodia comes through. Banger with a nice save, but there's still a chance. Crims with the rebound. The demo as well here. Mizzou another demo to 3v1. Frostbite going to slow it down, leaves it for the person behind him who's not going to really find a good shot. Takes it to the front of the net, but there's a good defense out of USF there. Sap trying to get the clear, finally leaves it around midfield, and Yagami boots it all the way forward, trying to score here. 15 seconds to go for USF to try and tie it again and try to bring it to another overtime. But Frostbite now on the offense, passes it over, and Exodia finds the second, and that's probably going to be this game number 3, and Mizzou looks like they're going to take the lead in the series.
Yeah, they are just smothering USF on all sides of the field. USF can't even break out and yet even try to get chances. First, you need to be able to stop that defense, or stop that attack, excuse me. But yeah, 2 seconds, or not 2 seconds left, 9 seconds left, and they may be looking to put another one. Crims with a heater top left.
Bouncing it off the sidewall and just in a perfect position with perfect power. There's no way you save that, even if you were in that. That's about as good of a shot as you're going to get. Yeah, and that definitely seals it up for Mizzou here in this game.
Yeah, just kind of punching USF when they're already down, not able to get any goals through the entire game, maybe looking to get some sort of momentum, and you just punch them in with that 3-0. And Mizzou looking to just give USF game 1, then try to sweep the rest of the series here. USF need to make some sort of adjustment.
Yeah, USF, similar issues we've seen in game 2 and in game 3. They haven't been able to get rid of the pressure. They haven't been able to get an offense going. They've just had luck on a couple different opportunities on individual plays, but they haven't really been creative with their offense like we usually see. Their defense, it's there, but after 3.5 minutes of constant defending, eventually one's going to come through, and then the floodgates just opened up. Need to see how USF's going to adjust in this game 4, or the series might just be over.
Yeah, they definitely need to maybe start looking. I said it before, I'll say it again. They just maybe need to try to, I mean, even if it's like a tiny pass from like your own net to the corner where your teammate's already there, but the teammate has to be there, obviously. Mm-hmm. But just being able to predict where your teammate's going to hit the ball. I mean, obviously that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Like try to predict like, hey, I'm over here. Maybe be looking for your teammate, hoping that he's over there. Just trying to getting a little bit of a clear, then kind of just slamming it. Mizzou's just going to be like, okay, thanks for the ball back. We'll keep putting pressure on.
Yeah, they don't have the boost control when they are on that defensive side. Mizzou has just been completely dominating those full boosts. USF never has the power to just get those clears as fast as possible. Right here, though, they do have the chance. They look like they're trying for it, but Mizzou they're just always there on the aerial. I'm blanking on words.
The aerial challenge, maybe?
That challenge. That's the word I was looking for. The aerial challenge for Mizzou is always there when USF tries to clear it. And that's how they just been getting this pressure consistently, and USF hasn't had a response for it.
Yeah, I think that's where being able to use your teammate, like even there, it was like a tiniest of pass, but it just helps you get that extra bit of clear, allows you to get a little bit more boost because the ball's just in their half. Sap's going to try to get a pass here. Banger is ready for it. There we go, trying to use each other, but Frostbite is there, and Crimson's already waiting on the backboard. Really nice defense coming out of Mizzou here, and now they need to be able to clear it here. Sap's going to get a nice 50. Yagami's going to try to read that in the corner over Frostbite, but Frostbite gets a nice touch to the side, keeps control of this ball, and the 50 out goes right over to Sap. Doesn't get a shot. Maybe wanted to look for Banger there.
USF have been doing a better job looking for their teammates, trying to get these passes going. So it seems like they've been realizing their mistakes a little bit more, trying to adjust, but more demos have been coming through out of Mizzou here, clearing up some more space, trying to relieve some of the pressure that USF is trying to put on. Banger now going for the double, sets it up for Yagami, who goes for a shot, gets contested, but the pressure's still on. USF still have the offensive possession here, and Yagami with a shot gets saved in the middle of the net, doesn't have the boost, but tries to pass it back to Banger, who takes another shot off the crossbar, and Sap there with the rebound. Passes it to Yagami, sends it to the air, does have a little bit of boost to work with, but not enough. Now USF have to get back on defense.
I like the idea. Oh, that was a little bit of an awkward of a touch. I was going to say I like the idea. They're at least attempting to look for each other. Even if the shots aren't quite coming through, they're trying to use each other on all sides of the field and opting to maybe put the shot just over to the side where your teammate is and just give yourself a little bit more pressure. And Yagami not getting quite the touch he needed. Sap's going to try to make it awkward for them, but Crims does get a nice touch over to the corner, going to keep up the pressure. Crims looking for a bump, but the shot comes through. It's a little bit late. Sap barely able to get the save.
Crims was still in the net there trying to get that bump and open up the space, but Sap able to dodge it and now takes a shot on net. Ooh, nice save coming through out of Frostbite. But USF now trying to get the pressure going. Nice read out of Frostbite to get another touch there. Yagami trying to slow it down, but the demo comes through. The pressure's on. Mizzou have a chance here. Takes it up into the corner. It's still hovering around there. Yagami trying to clear it. Not a lot of power behind it. Now that leaves Exodia with possession. Takes it off the wall. Way too much power on that pinch.
Yagami does have space. He does get beat out, and now Sap has a huge clear. It may be in it. Frostbite's not able to get the touch, but Exodia was there. It may have been a little bit wide anyways, but a little bit of a threatening bounce. Sap tries to put it mid, but nobody is in USF is even near to be able to challenge that ball. Yagami tries to get a double, maybe maintain a little bit of pressure. The shot not coming through. Banger wasn't able to reach that ball, and now Sap is back all the way by himself. Gonna opt to have to play it slow. A weird challenge coming out from Banger, but able to put it over to the side and give USF a little bit more time here, and a clear coming out should give them more time.
It's an awkward touch out of Crims. Yagami's gonna follow him into the air, goes for a bump, doesn't take him off his path. He's trying to pass it over to Frostbite, gets it over a defender, but the demo comes through. Mizzou trying to keep it going, but Sap gets it past one. Didn't get power behind that clear, but leaves it for Yagami, who now turns his back around, but doesn't have enough to get past Frostbite. But Sap now going for the demo, but not going to find it. Instead, finds the ball. Not going to do much with it. Just keeps pushing it towards the net for Mizzou. Yagami now trying to make a read, but not going to get too much from it. Banger now with a nice chance. Goes for the double. Doesn't have a chance off the crossbar. No follow-up on either team.
Couldn't quite get it under the bar. Yagami looking for a pass, but nobody's there. There was a little bit too far, and that may just be in. Oh, Banger. Super unfortunate own goal. I got to watch that back because it was just put on net. Obviously, Banger has to assume that's going in, and it just flips. He pre-flips, and it just bounces off the cross of the bar into the net.
You have to give your effort to try to save it, thinking it's going in. Probably looked like it was going a little bit too wide. And then the bounce just directly onto his car. 1 minute to go. Mizzou have the lead, trying to close out this series here. Crims now going to collect this ball back on his half, trying to slow it down, trying to waste a little bit of time. Demo does come through. Yagami takes it to the sky. Frostbite is going to contest it. Banger, nice touch to the corner. There's a chance. Banger with another touch. Frostbite puts it in. That's another own goal, but on the other side. Both teams giving each other gifts. 40 seconds to go, and we're all tied up.
Yeah, I was going to complain about a double commit from USF, but before I got the chance, they're scoring on the wrong goals. I think they were just giving it back. They felt bad maybe a little bit, but I mean, we'll take it. You know, 40 seconds left. We got to see who's going to run away with this game. Either way, it's not what you want to see from either of these teams putting in an own goal, but USF is still in the game.
No, USF cashing in the favor. They're like, we put one in the net for you. Can you, just give it back to us? They're like, sure. Here you go. 20 seconds to go now. Mizzou getting the offensive possession here. trying to get another one, get her right back. And there's a chance. Oh, so many whiffs just happened. Now Yagami on the counter can't get it past Crims, but now still has a chance. Pretty good amount of boost to work with. Nice touch, leaves it back for USF's defense, but off the roof, there's a chance here, but the demo is going to stop USF's chance from getting a shot off there. Another demo comes through, ball still in the air. This game isn't going to end just yet. Banger probably now wants to let it hit the ground just to take it to overtime. Worried about the fact the ball is on their defensive half. Mizzou now trying to score, but it is going to end up going overtime. That's 3 of the 4 games in overtime in this series.
What do you think about another own goal here? All right, hopefully not. Maybe USF needed that. I mean, obviously, that was their only lifeline. Without that own goal, they would not be in this game. They want to make sure they use it well, and it doesn't even matter. They cashed in the own goal, but Krim says that was just a joke. We're still going to win anyways.
Crims takes it right back 11 seconds into overtime, and that's going to be Mizzou taking the series away, getting that second win of the season, which USF is still looking for.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting game by all of the fashions. But, I mean, yeah, it works in the favor of Mizzou, able to beat USF out in a 3-1. A little bit of sloppy gameplay, I would say, from both sides. But
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Both teams clearly a little bit of miscommunication, some lack of coordination, to say the least, on both teams.
That's a good way to put it.
But still a close match. 3 games went to overtime. I think USF lost all 3.
Yeah, I think they did.
Am I right in saying? I think I'm right in saying that.
I mean, game two should not have gone. I mean, all credit to USF for coming back 3-0 or coming down from a 3 goal, but I want to say those goals weren't the greatest. A little bit of the tiniest bit of overcommit, challenging that ball too forward, just left USF with 3 open nets, able to tie it up. But I mean, either way, Mizzou won in three in a row, able to prove that they were the better team today.
Yeah, absolutely. Mizzou take the series, going to take that win home for the NACE Varsity Premier Conference. On that note, we are going to be ending the stream. Good night, everybody. And as always, go Bulls.